Hey guys, back to the doghouse today. If you recall, my last video I was complaining about a real bad noise when I was trying to start my truck sometimes. And I think I got it figured out after checking other YouTube videos and listening to your comments. I checked out this shimming thing of the starter. I've never heard of the shimming a starter, but a million things I haven't heard of. I don't know about this stuff. I rely on you guys for all my help. But anyway, Glenn Miller said about shimming the starter, so I did some investigating sort of stuff with other YouTube videos, and I found my starter's way far from the flywheel, and it's supposed to be 117 thou. And I took feeler gauges, and I was surprised with what I got. I'm going to show you. It's crazy. Okay, I want to make this here as clear as I possibly can. Most of you guys know this here. Some of you don't, like me. I didn't know this here till I started checking out, but I was getting a lot of banging, like literally sound like a door slamming whenever I try to start it. But I think I found out the problem, and the problem is I've got too much of a gap between my starter and my flywheel. Here's my flywheel. Here's my starter housing. Inside here is the bendix and the shaft of the bendix. I'm supposed to have a gap between the starter, between the gears, the teeth of the flywheel and the shaft of the bendix. I'm supposed to have a gap of about 117 thou. A lot of guys just use an 1/8 inch drill bit. That's 125 thou, which is pretty close. But I got some feeler gauges. I'll put the feeler gauges up there. And I've got, as you can see, feeler gauges in there. And that's 200 thou worth of feeler gauges. So I have to close the gap here. But I got 200 thou here, so I don't know how many shims I'm going to have. So I'm going to start off with, a 1/4 inch shim. I mean an 1/8 inch shim. Put an 1/8 inch shim up there and just see where I'm at. Here, I want to try an 1/8 inch shim, and but of course I don't have an 1/8 inch shim. I don't have any shims, but I'll just use a piece of metal that I got hanging around the shop here. I got lots of metal. But anyway, we'll make a shim, and I'll show you what I've done and see if it fixes my problem. Back soon. Oh, before you take your starter off, disconnect your battery. Otherwise, you're going to get an awful surprise if you happen to touch the wires. Okay, I hope you can see up in there. So between the teeth of the flex plate and the shaft of the starter, I can get this little bit up here. Hope you can see that. It should only be an 1/8 of an inch maximum. Well, they say 117 thou, but they send in an 1/8 inch Allen key, which is 125, and 125 is way too sloppy. See here, I can move it all over the place. So I'm going to have to move the bottom of the starter in. I can't move it up unless I machine it, but I can loosen it off and put a shim underneath this, with this bolt here. I took this bolt out, but directly on top of it, between the block and the starter, if I put in shims, I can drop this down, and that'll swing the starter in closer. So we'll try that and see what happens. Hey guys, to show you a little bit better what I'm talking about, excuse me, I got this other motor here sitting on a stand, and what I have to do is measure between the teeth, the diameter, the outside diameter of the flywheel, and the outside diameter of the starter shaft. So what I need what I need is 117 thou difference between the outside diameter of the teeth and the outside diameter of this starter shaft or Bendix drive shaft. An easy way of doing it, if you don't have feeler gauges, you can get drill bits and try to put drill bits up here. Say if you can put 125 thou in, you're very close, but the actual dimension is supposed to be 117. So you can see I can put this shim in here, or this drill in here, no problem whatsoever. So that's how. So it was sloppy. So I get the next size up, I can put it in also. And that was 9/64. So the next size up. Okay, I can't get this one here in. And that one is the 5/32. So the gap I'm getting right now is 155 thou. So to get it closer to 117, I have to loosen the starter bolts, one here and one here, and put a shim between the block and the starter. Here's the starter, the face of the starter, and here's the block, and that's where I'm going to put a shim in. I've made up some shims because I don't have any factory ones, so I just took a piece of sheet metal. This here is 42 thou, and I just cut them. I drilled a 3/8 hole in here. Well, actually, it was a drill size bigger than a 3/8, and I'll put that in and see what the shim is. For now, I'm just going to stick it in there. I'm not going to take the bolt out. You should take the bolt out, put it in, and fasten it. There, I still have a little bit of a gap, so I'm going to take another shim, put the second shim in, and see what it's like. And again, I'm just sticking these in here. When I finish, say this was the motor I was leaving in the truck, I'd put these all the way in and have this hole around the bolt. So now I'm going to try the drill now, and that's a lot better. That's a lot better. So I can get the next size in. Here's 9/64. can barely get that in. 9/64 is 140. I want to try for 125. So I'll put one more shim in here and see what it's like. But that's what you do. You just keep on shimming the outside to make it a smaller gap here. Because what you're doing, you're swinging the starter in. If you didn't have enough gap there, you'd shim either both sides or you'd shim the inside and swing it out. So that bendix is a little bit further away from the starter. So anyway, guys, that's how you shim a starter. I didn't know about shimming starters before. Now I was having an awful trouble with the truck. It would start all right, but it'd make an awful bang sometimes. And what was happening is that bendix was smashing up against the flywheel, and just like it didn't break something. But anyway, Glenn Miller put me out of that. Just shimming the starter, but he didn't explain how to do it. So I did some research, and that's what I found out. There's another way of doing it with wire between the bendix gears and the flywheel gears. I didn't show you that, but it's a lot harder to figure out. So if you do it this way here, you get between 117 and 125 thou gap between the outside diameter of the flywheel, like the teeth, and the outside diameter of the bendix drive. You're good to go. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging around. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.